Earthwalker,
What's up?
I've got a question to ask you.
Many questions there.
What was God doing before creation?
Oh dear.
Because I don't know. So I don't know if you know.
This is a hard one, and I'll say straight up, no one has the definitive. This is exactly what he was doing.
I agree with that.
There's just no ways. First of all, I mean, there's estimates we can make. One, since God is triune, we know he must have had fellowship within the person. So the Father speaks to the Son speaking to the Spirit speaks to the Father. You know, that kind of thing. They had fellowship amongst each other. But if we're gonna be real cheeky, technically you can't say before. Because if we're talking about before creation, that would means, because before means time. Before creation means there's no time.
That's right.
See, God wasn't doing anything before creation, because then that word before would not make sense. So if someone wants to be cheeky about it, they can say, what do you mean before?
Well, I've got someone that's very cheeky, and we're going to go into his video right now, and he's telling us that he can tell us what God was doing before creation. So
Who does he think he is? Who does he think he
I don't
is?
know. Switch the screen.
All right.
Let's see what's going on.
What's going on? Hold on.
Switch the screen. Here we go.
All right. Let's see what it's saying.
What was God doing before creation? Well, that's an easy one to answer. There was no before. Now, what do I mean by that? I remember being at a conference where a man came up to me and he said, surely the earth has to be billions of years old. I mean, God, what was he doing before he created the earth? I mean, it couldn't be just thousands of years old, because that wouldn't make sense. I mean, it makes more sense that it's billions of years old. And I said, wait a minute, do you
That alone is its own debate.
Yes.
People, what do they call themselves? Young Earth people and old Earth, or something like that. And the people who believe the Earth is billions of years old, millions of years old, and there's some people who believe it's thousands of years old. Now, again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect salvation or whatever.
Yes.
But I can see the sides for why they believe what they can. I mean, God can do anything. He can make things happen within thousands of years or whatever. But some say million years, because you also got to make space. The same for like the dinosaurs in that regard. But then there's rapid fossilization. It's a lot. But yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting.
And then look at him. He looks confident, And when the question was asked, he goes, "Oh, that's easy." So let's continue to hear what this gentleman's got to say.
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it, man.
You realize what you're saying? Because if you said it was billions of years old, 5 billion years old or whatever, just think about this. Then you keep going back, you could go back another 5 billion, and then another 5 billion, and then 10 billion, and then a trillion, and then a zillion. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
That's exactly what you
It doesn't matter how old you say the earth is. If you say, well, it has to be billions of years old because what was God doing all that time? But you would go back zillions and zillions of years, and it just is not logical.
And time
but
means nothing to
here's the
God.
point.
That's it.
God created time when in the Bible it says, in the beginning, that's time, God created the heavens, space, and the earth, matter, space, mass, time continuum. Now, that's when he created time.
Yo, first of all, he said what he said.
Yes.
Second of all, that's the same thing what also Dr. Kent Hovind said as well.
Okay.
When he took on those three atheists.
Right.
In the beginning is time, heaven, space, earth, matter. I like that.
So before creation, there was not such thing as time.
Yep.
Okay. I won't think about that one too much, because I don't want the men in the white coats to come and take me away. Let's continue listening.
God deals with eternity.
You see, the Bible makes it very clear that God exists in eternity. I've had children say to me, Mr. Ham, well, what was here before God created? Nothing? Well, no, because nothing is really something. I mean, if you think about space, space actually is something. It's not nothing. We don't even really understand space.
Yep.
There had to be not even nothing, which doesn't sort of make sense to us, but that's because we don't understand an infinite creator God who exists in eternity. He's the Alpha and Omega. He exists outside of time. Now, that's why we will never understand an infinite creator God. We're created beings. We're created in time. And that's why the Bible says without faith it is impossible to please him. Because there's always going to be a faith aspect, but it's not a blind faith, because the faith we have as Christians makes sense of what we see, sense of why we have the laws of nature. And
I love that he said, I like this guy already, by the way.
Yes.
Old Peter, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to check your channel after this. No, because he said, it's not blind faith. And that's something that's in atheists throw around a lot, especially the
blind
new atheist.
faith.
The Greek word used for faith in the Bible, especially New Testament, is pistis. And pistis has nothing blind about it.
Yes.
It's basically faith that is based on a trust.
Yes.
It's based on the knowledge that we have.
Yes.
God does not lie, so therefore if he says it, it's true.
Yes.
It's not just, we just believe whatever. No.
Why a blind faith? Like you don't
Exactly.
care. It's based on facts.
And evidence.
Yes. And
It's evidence. We have
evidence.
reasons to trust Jesus. That's why we trust him. And if he say it is so, God is not a man that he should lie.
Yes.
It is so.
And that's why my favorite scripture is trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean upon your own understanding.
That's a gold one.
Because leaning on your own understanding, you're not going to have no faith. You're not going to believe. But when you trust in the Lord, that is faith. And yeah, so I understand exactly what you're saying, and I understand what his name's actually Ken Ham.
Ken Ham.
Yeah, Ken Ham's doing good.
Yeah.
People, subscribe to his channel.
Yeah.
Ken Ham. I'll leave a link in the description.
That's easy to remember. He 3 letters in both first and last name.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yo,
right.
that's the shortest.
Yeah.
All right, Ken Ham.
Yeah, man. Let's keep this moving.
Yeah.
Here we go.
laws of mathematics, for instance, the laws of chemistry, etc., the laws of logic and so on only make sense with the Creator God. But what we need to understand is that God exists in eternity, so there was no time before he created. And that is impossible for us to totally understand. And it's going to be that way because, as I said, we're created in time, we're finite beings, and we don't know everything. Only God knows everything.
Yeah.
Remember what he said to Moses, was Moses said, "Who shall I say sent me?" And he was told, say, "I am." In other words, he exists.
Big.
I am. I am who I am. He is the infinite creator God. You know, the Bible tells us a way in which we can calculate the age of the universe, because it tells us that he created everything in 6 days, and the Hebrew word day, when it's qualified by evening, morning, number, or night, means an ordinary day. Each of those 6 days from the Hebrew language and the context in which it's written there in Genesis chapter 1 means 6 days. Jump over to Exodus 20 verse 11. In 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that in them is. In other words, from Genesis 1:1 all the way through Genesis chapter 1, everything was made in 6 days, then rested on the seventh day.
That is, I think, the way that the young Earth theorists come to the conclusion, because it says, he made things in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. Now, some will say, we're not going to get too much into it, but some will say that those 6 days aren't literal 6 days. But it's like, but then what other way are you supposed to take it, since God is going to be communicating this to us for us to understand the beginning? But it could be meaning something else, but it's 6 days. And they then use the age of each of the ancient earliest people from Adam going down. So you know how Methuselah was 969 years old when he died, and Lamech was 777. So they were kind of using those numbers going down to Noah and this, and the time of ancient Egypt, and they use that to get the number and say, oh, it's thousands of years old, it's approximately 7,000, or whatever the number that it was. So they use the Bible to calculate that. So logically that does make sense, but then who really knows, since God can do things whatever.
So you're agreeing with what this guy's saying? He's doing a good job right now.
I would say he's doing a good job right now, but I'm not confirming young Earth is the way, or old Earth is the way. But I'm so far really like what Ken Ham is saying.
Ken is good, man. I'm going to subscribe, and you better subscribe also. Ken Ham is a good guy, and you could see that he's full of wisdom. Press on.
Yeah, let's see what he's got.
That's our 7-day week. That's where it comes from. It's based on the creation week in Genesis chapter 1. And on day 6, God made Adam. We're told that Adam lived for 930 years, but at 130 years old, he had a son called Seth. And then when you read those genealogies in Genesis chapter 5 and Genesis chapter 11, We are given their times in which people were born, when they died. You can add up all those dates. You come to the time of Abraham, and then from Abraham to Christ, and then from Christ, the babe in a manger, up to the present, it adds up to about 6,000 years. That's how we get the age of the universe from the Bible. The Bible doesn't say the universe is 6,000 years old. Remember, God's written word was finished 2,000.
Yeah.
Does that mean the age of the universe or the age of the earth? Because we cannot see the universe. We don't know the universe. So I'm not sure what that means.
Because the way how he's calculating and how others would calculate the universe thing, because they're starting from when God did creation. So you know when God just started, he made time.
Yes.
And God, light and light be and all that stuff. He said he created everything in 6 days.
Right.
So they're counting those 6 days.
Yes.
And then from the 6 days, and then, the Sabbath, Saturday, will be Saturday, right? And then from there, then it's like, okay, man was made from there. So Adam's here. Day number 6 or whatever, right?
Yes.
He's 130 years old. So that 130, Cain and Abel, and they use that to calculate. So since God started, and then 6 days, 7 days, they're saying that's also started the universe, because that's when God created the universe. That's when he created space.
Okay.
So yeah, the universe would be, I don't know, like in this example, like when did he make Earth? Was it the second day or was it still first day? So
yes.
So the universe would be like one day older than the Earth in that regards. Which again, God can easily make that happen. If he made the space first here and then he made Earth, then
yes,
that still can work.
I get that.
So
I get that.
Yeah.
Why is the screen gone black behind us? Let's press on.
Years
That's
ago.
scary clouds.
So if it said the universe is 6,000 years old, now it'll be 8,000 years old. That's why the Bible doesn't give a specific date, but it gives us the ability to calculate the age because of the history that God has given us in his word. So what was God doing before he created? God is.
Yeah.
He is the great I am. He exists in eternity. There's no time with God. Some people have even tried to argue, well, the days of creation, they're days that God created, in his day, in his time. And there is no time for God. He's outside of time. That's why even in the New Testament, in 2 Peter chapter 3, concerning scoffers in the last days, and we're told that to God a day is like 1,000 years, or 1,000 years is like a day, is telling us this, why hasn't Jesus returned? Because scoffers are saying things keep going on and on and on, and they reject creation, they reject the flood of Noah's day, they reject coming judgment by fire. If Jesus was coming back, that can't be right, because look, it's been so long since he said he was returning. But to God, a day is like 1,000 years, or 1,000 years is like a day, which means what? God is outside of time. He's not limited by natural processes and time. So to God, a day is like 1,000 years, or 1,000 years is just like a day. And the Bible tells us why Jesus hasn't returned, by the way. It's not his will that any should perish.
That's actually funny when you think about it that way. If it's like, let's say we was to take that literally, a day is as like 1,000 years to God, and let's say the approximate age they said for the universe and creation was like 8,000. That means while man has gone over civilizations, world powers, and like 7,000, 8,000 years of history, for God it's like 1 week in a day.
Well, think about it like this, Earthwalker. From the day that you was born till now, it's not even a day yet.
No, it's still not a day.
You see, people?
It's still not a day.
You see? My days. Press on.
That's
Earthwalker.
funny.
Well, I don't even want to think about it.
God, 1 week in a day. It's Tuesday for God.
Ain't even got to Sunday yet. Ain't even got to church day yet.
My goodness, that's hilarious. Come on, Ken Ham, bring it home.
There'll be a time when he does, but when he has called those that are going to be with him for eternity to be with him. And so there is no time with God. Time was created for us and for this universe, so we can exist in time. Hey, does the Bible tell us how old the earth is? Since time was created on day one of creation, and we have such detailed genealogies in the Old Testament, we can use the information provided in the Bible to determine the age of the earth. So watch this video to see how.
Yes, we will be watching it, and we will be reviewing that video. Okay, let's go across to the screen. Right. Man, that was so interesting. I enjoyed that.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely liked it. It was informative, but I feel like he was being he took the cheeky route.
Yes.
He talked about how before don't make no sense
Yes,
because there's no time. He didn't actually even give a suggestion of what God can do. My suggestion still stands, which is God was just having fellowship amongst the three persons,
and there was no time. There was not. It wasn't 12 o'clock. Oh no, it's 1 o'clock.
No,
the time is for us.
Yeah, chilling in eternity, just talking. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
So people, this is what we have to read. This is the conclusion now. You cannot put a date on God. You can't do that because He's eternal. And the meaning of eternal is He has no beginning, He has no end.
Alpha and Omega.
There's never been a time that God hasn't been here, and there will never be a time that He will not be here. And I know you're going to have some of you cheeky ones in the comment section that's going to say, well, can God create another God? Yes, He can create another God.
He could easily do that.
But He won't be God. He'll be a creation.
Still a creation.
There's only one God.
You won't be the original
eternal
I
Father.
am.
What have you got to say, Earthwalker, as a conclusion?
I think you already said it.
Okay.
So you can answer the question, but
Yes.
you can't say definite for 100%
Yes.
what exactly He was doing.
Yes.
Oh, God was on His Xbox,
Yes.
or God was like having chicken and chips,
Yes.
because He would know what chicken and chips
Yes.
is before we
That's
even
it.
do that, right?
Yes.
But we just do know as an estimate. Because
That's
having
right.
fellowship and the whole discussion of time itself, that was a good thing too. Time was for us.
That's right.
It's not for Him. He's outside of time.
Yes.
It's the same with the whole computer example.
That's
the one
it.
who created the computer was not inside the computer
Yes.
running around and putting ones and zeros binary around.
Yes.
That person was outside of the computer and is unaffected by the settings in the computer. So God's outside of this universe, man.
And for some of you guys who say there's no God, remember, nothing can come from nothing.
I think
If you have nothing, my pen here, I'm taking my notes. If you have nothing, then you will get nothing.
Yeah, you can't get something from nothing.
You cannot get something from nothing. So there had to be an eternal being before the earth was created.
That's something.
And that eternal being is God. So we're going to leave you with that. If you disagree with us, no problem.
Let us know.
Let us know, but don't be rude. Because the last video we done, there was some rude people on there, and YouTube had to take. I didn't even take their comments off. YouTube took their comments off. So if you're going to be rude and cheeky about it, it's going to be a problem. But if you want to debate, we're here to debate with you. And Earthwalker looks at every single comment that is posted. So yeah, come on, make a comment, man, please. We'd like to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah,
and remember, we know you're watching.